of July 2022, a day that has seen the Agano party leader David Moure launching his manifesto ahead of the August 9 polls. One of the many stories we've lined up for you on this program this afternoon. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. The High Court has suspended the gazettement of the Mombasa gubernatorial candidates in the August elections, pending the hearing and determination of a suit filed by Mike Sonko. The three-judge bench also halted the ballot paper printing by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC). The Wiper Party was also prevented from nominating another candidate to replace Sonko in the race. Sonko is currently seeking to overturn IEBC Dispute Resolution Committee's decision to bar him from vying for the seat.
The bench, as Madam Senior has indicated, for finding prudence in ensuring that the matter moves forward. Narrow issues to the petition. If we narrow issues to the petition, this matter will be canvassed very fast.
In orders be and are hereby given as follows. 1. That conservatory orders be and are hereby granted to restrain the third respondent from publishing in the Kenya Gazette any candidate in respect of the position of Governor of Mombasa County pending the hearing and of the application dated 22nd of June 2022 and B. Conservatory orders B of injunction B and are hereby granted, restraining the third respondent from printing ballot papers in respect of the candidates for the position of Governor.
David Moure Waihega of the Agano party has unveiled his manifesto, citing the biblical story of David and Goliath. Now, according to Moure, the Agano party was unable to pick a grand venue for his manifesto launch, such as the Kasarani or Nyayo stadiums, as they could neither afford them nor were they using state resources. Take a look.
In the two regimes, you agree with me that we are dealing with 2020, that's about 40. What as a nation could we not have done with that? Let's even give the benefit of doubt and say the last two regimes, 20 trillion. What we have not done. I'll tell you what they have said in the international circles about that. Hang on. We'll tell you how we arrived at these estimates. I've mentioned this. How else did we get here? Kenyans and Kenyans' wealth has been stashed abroad, which is another big elephant in the room. In or about 2017-2018, it was widely reported by reputable international groups and organizations that wealth Kenyans were hiding abroad, illegally acquired, was more than Kenya shillings 15 trillion. Assuming that's correct, this is another almost twice the amount of the Chinese loan. In 2017-2018 budget statement, the then Treasury Secretary Henry Rotich gave Kenyans amnesty to return that money. To date, we have never been told.
Now, Moure, while launching his manifesto, talked about giving Kenyans hope. And now his manifesto will have a dream of justice, unity, peace, liberty, as well as integrity. Some of the key pointers in David Moure's manifesto. Well, all the best to the candidate in the upcoming polls. But moving on, Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja now claims the petitioner seeking his disqualification from the Nairobi gubernatorial race over the validity of his academic papers is malicious and on a political witch hunt. The embattled legislator in court papers filed in response to the case, lodged by Dennis Gaku Wahome, argues that the case, which has dragged on for weeks now, is engineered by unnamed powerful forces to publicly humiliate him. Sakaja has, however, dismissed claims that the Bachelor of Science in Management degree he claims he acquired from Team University in Uganda is fraudulent, saying the questions raised are based on malice. Meanwhile, Laikipia Governor Ndereto Mureithi has slammed Deputy President William Ruto for his leaked out clip alleging that he nearly slapped President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017. The governor, who spoke in Nanyuki where he received defectors to the Jubilee Party, warned the deputy president not to take Uhuru Kenyatta's silence for cowardice, saying his threats are inconsequential.
Na mimi nataka nieleze ndugu yetu huyu naibu wa rais, please, tumechoka na vitisho ndogo ndogo yako. Wewe utasema utapiga rais kofi wapi? Wapi huko? In which universe do you think that it is possible for you to slap a president? Na kama kweli wewe ni mwanaume, uje tuonane. Hebu mutulize fitna na matusi, na msidhanie kwamba sisi hatuna uwezo wa kukabiliana na nyinyi. Walakini sisi, we choose the path of peace for our beloved nation. But do not mistake our humbleness for lack of courage. Do not mistake our silence to think that we accept your threats. We do not. And this nation is way bigger than any of us.
Elsewhere, Upia political candidates drawn from Marsabit County are rooting for home ground party in a bid to have a negotiating power at the national level. The politicians drawn from the entire county are urging voters to consider the move, which they claim will help them develop. Our own Michael Kwena has filed the following report from Marsabit County.
With that 5 days to go before the general election, politicians have intensified their campaigns in remote areas, selling their agendas to the voters. In Marsabit County, clan and politics still have a profound effect on candidates for various positions. According to Marsabit gubernatorial candidate for the Upia party, Pius Yatani, the party will be given a big share in the next government should voters vote for them, and there's Mula Moja presidential candidate Raila Odinga.
Wakati serikali ya Raila Amolo Odinga itajengwa, watu watakaa kwa meza kugawa serikali. Vyama vile vimejenga rais Raila Amolo Odinga, kila mmoja atapeleka kikapu chake. Wakiuliza serikali, tutatupiwa nini ndani ya kikapu chetu? Ndio tutapata nafasi ya CS? Ndio tutapata pengine ambassador?
Yatani has slammed the current county boss Mahmoud Ali for what he calls failing to end perennial conflicts in the region that has cost lives, with others being displaced following skirmishes.
Serikali ya jimbo hili ambalo lingetusaidia ni kama halina haja. Ni kama damu yetu ni sorio kwao.
Alice Kuraya, the party senatorial candidate, says the party affiliated to Azimio la Umoja intends to champion for pastoral space at the national level and will have a bargaining power.
Sisi tumeunda chama yenye inaweza kusaidia jamii wafugaji kujitafutia nafasi kwa serikali ya ugatuzi na hata ile serikali ya kimataifa.
The Marsabit gubernatorial race has attracted 6 candidates, with 4 being under the Azimio la Umoja umbrella. With the current curfew in place in Marsabit, politicians have been limited with campaign time, a majority of them now opting door-to-door campaigns. Michael Kwena, TV47 in Marsabit County.
Well, thank you, Michael Kwena, for that report. Now, the Kenya African National Union, KANU, has officially withdrawn its support for Orange Democratic Movement in the Coast region, following claims of being undermined and sidelined by the regional leadership. KANU says even though the two parties are in one coalition, they too have a right to support other candidates. In Kilifi County, KANU has already thrown its weight on independent governor candidate Franco Esposito Casoso, a Kenyan who is of the Italian origin.
Chimbiwa maji maji mengi kidogo, hilo ingekuwa kidogo tunapumzika nalo.
Kuna njaa huku kwetu, njaa ya watu, njaa ya mfugo, ng'ombe zinakutoa kufa nasia wavesho nina sirima chakula hakuna.
Nenda Ukambani imejulikana kwa shida ya maji na shida ya njaa kila kitu. But it's not like this at the moment kwa sababu kulikuwa na interventions za viongozi. Hizi ndio vitu ambazo mimi kama mbunge nikichaguliwa nataka nilete hapa Ganze. Kama tunasikia Mwache kunajengwa damu, tunasikia Twake damu inajengwa. Ni kitu gani imezuia hii Rare damu hapa isijengwe? Na zote zilikuwa kwa master plan moja ya Kibaki. So haya ni baadhi ya yale mambo ambayo nitafanya kiupande wa miundo misingi. Ni lazima pia tuangalie mambo ya chakula kwa sababu 60 years down the line since tupate uhuru bado tunategemea chakula cha msaada. Tunaita misolo huku kwetu. Unajua misolo hata ni jina kudhalilisha. Lakini kama tunataka tuendelee kama wanaganze ni lazima tuwe food secure.
Mount Kenya region has been cautioned against folding up its parties to merge with other entities and urged to embrace multi-party politics. Speaking in Kangema on the campaign trail, the Service Party leader Mwangi Kionjuri said the region should not be divided for political expediency, saying that parties will be the only bargaining chip for the interest of Mount Kenya residents in the next government. The former cabinet secretary added that a shift of leadership from Mount Kenya is bound to affect the region and the parties will likely come in handy to save the situation.
Shindwa tu kushinda. Kwa nini mnataka kutoka serikali ya mzee muingie serikali mpya na mmeshindwa na kazi? Wako kwa ofisi wanalipa mishahara, wako na maaskari wameshindwa na kazi na wanauliza kazi.
Tumeongea na wao, tumewaambia vile Jubilee imefanyia Kirinyaga na tumewaambia mikakati ile italetwa na chama cha Azimio. Tumewaambia Azimio iko na chama nyingi na tukawaambia Jubilee ilikubali Martha Karua apewe hiyo kiti ya deputy president wa Azimio. Na tukasema kama wana Jubilee hivyo tulikubalia na hatukuangalia chama ya Martha Karua. Tulisema Martha Karua kama binafsi ni mtu anafaa na ni sujaa anafaa kukua.
Meanwhile, pastors from different denominations across the country have gathered for a 3 days long prayer here in Nairobi to pray for peace as the country heads to the August general polls. Now, a representation of pastors from all the counties will also strategize on how to take the role of the church in bringing people together and preaching peace in their specific churches. While conducting the prayers, the pastors have called on politicians to be wise in their speeches and thrive to bring people together.
Kuenda kuwa na ile kipindi elections in our country, na kama kanisa lazima tuongee kwa sauti moja. Kanisa iko na nguvu, so tumeleta wananchi wote haswa wa maeneo ya Nairobi pamoja, all the counties are also represented, diposa tuweze kuombea taifa na kuongea kwa sauti moja.
Kitu kubwa tumewekwa ni kutangaza umoja wa viongozi, umoja wa Wakenya na pia kushauri, manake Mungu huja kupitia kwetu, anatupatia ujumbe wake nasi tunaachilia kwa viongozi. Kwa hivyo kusiwe na ile anga ambayo ni ya kuleta hali tatanishi ambayo itatoka kwa midomo yetu kama wachungaji.
Tumebakia mwezi mmoja peke yake, na katika huo mwezi mmoja kuna mambo mengi huwa yanatokea. Sasa huu ndio wakati ambao watu wanachafuana sana, na wakati ile hali ya kuchafuana, wengine wanakuwa na bitterness sababu wamewekewa mambo ambayo mwingine amesema haya, wanajawa na yale makasiriko. So zaidi na hayo, tunaomba na ili Mungu aweze kuwasaidia, sababu ni Mungu tu peke yake.
Tumeshikana wachungaji, tumeshikana waibaji na hata waombezi wa taifa ili tukaweze kuombea taifa letu la Kenya, tunapojua ya kwamba tuko na siku 37 ili tukaweze kuwa na uchaguzi wetu mkuu. So lengo letu kubwa ni kuombea nchi.
Now, from the call of peace by the clergymen, we'll do a short break, but don't go too far. When we come back, we'll be giving you more news as well as some sports news. So stay tuned.
You are one.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's continue in Kisumu County, where youth in Kisumu County have been urged to keenly look into good leadership qualities in a leader before electing him. Speaking during a voters sensitization campaign in Nyalenda ward led by George Owino and Anne Oyuer, the youth have been challenged not to be brainwashed by party politics when it comes to decision making in the August polls. Now, according to them, a party will never bring any form of development in the area, but an individual will be put to task by locals to deliver. This comes as leaders affiliated to ODM party call for 6-piece voting pattern in the county.
Tangaza tu jina ya mtu, lakini tusiangalie party. Juu party ni party tu, lakini binadamu ndio akona tabia. Tabia hii ni kufanya, anaweza sikia, he can get whatever everyone is talking about, he can share with you, but party angalia, party will, I think it will be on their side.
Kiwaona, they are just talking about ODM, yet they don't know what about it. Hata ukimwambia akuelezee vizuri hajui, yani anaenda tu venye watu wanasema na yeye akifuata. So we were trying to encourage them tusiangalie party.
Ombi ambao tunaweka kwa wananchi la Kenya, wakati imefika
We apologize for that. Now I'm being informed that story from Kisumu County is being prepared afresh and it will be with us in a few minutes from now. But moving on, the division of Nyati constituency and sub-county into two, as Nyati North and Nyati South, elicited mixed reactions as some members of the community are in support of the boundary at River Munyu and others wanted to be at River Kuja. Now, those opposing the boundary location at River Munyu have expressed concerns on allocation of most amenities at the north, forcing residents from the south to walk long distances in order to access these facilities. The boundary conflict is also likely to affect the elections in the region, with many claiming to abscond the voting day or even fail to vote completely.
No vote. No vote. No vote. No vote. No River Kuja. No vote.
Petition for the subdivision of Nyati sub-county. We are disputing it strongly because of the boundary. We accepted that it should be divided into two regions. Fine, but the boundary should be River Kuja. Here, we are here to register our dissatisfaction as Makalda Kanyarwanda community members who have so far been disadvantaged following the boundary declaration made by the County Commissioner of Migori County on the 29th June 2022 at the World Vision Hall, Nyati.
We want a thorough and proper public participation which can be heard and be understood by anybody. We are not arguing from no ground. We have our side of argument, and we believe the division, according to this now, we are not satisfied with. We object it.
As Muhurians, we are very happy and glad to get our new district or new sub-county, which is called South Nyati. We welcome the decision and we are very happy.
And from the boundary conflict in Nyati, which we can only hope gets solved as soon as possible, now it is time to get to Matter Sports, where KCB Rugby Football Club has shifted its focus to Prince Louis Sevens Rugby Tournament, slated for July 9th and 10th this year in Nakuru County, after finishing third in the fourth leg of the National Sevens Circuit in Kisumu, the Dala Sevens. Now, the Bankers fell short of their ambitions to win the leg, however, dethroned Mwamba narrowly with scores of 10-7 in an intense third-best place playoff match. KCB RFC assistant coach Mariko Mushila admitted a few mistakes in the semi-final clash against Menengai Oilers costed them a final slot. In their route to the semis, KCB RFC thrashed Catholic Monks with scores of 33-7 in the quarterfinals, as Homeboys Rugby Club were crowned the champions after defeating Menengai Oilers 19-14